How's it going, everyone? Today, we're going to be doing something a little different. Not my normal kind of content, but I'm going to be giving you my personal top 5 PlayStation games. These are the games that were my childhood. Also, one last note before we get into my top 5 is that the audio levels might change a little bit right here because I'm going off camera for the rest of it. So, let's get started. Starting with number 5, we have Turok Evolution. The reason this is only my 5th place is because I think I was a little too young to understand everything that was going on in this. I remember playing it, I just don't really remember the story. The only thing I remember is that you're like an Indian man dropped in the world of the past where an alien planet with dinosaurs and mutated humanoid lizard people. Yes, I know how that sounds. But it's a good FPS. Especially considering how old the game is and what the devs had to work with at the time. I will add an honorable mention here, and this is only because my friends recently, like last couple months, introduced me to this game. And that's Dokapon Kingdom. It's very similar to like Mario Party, but it's its own like MMO style RPG. So think Mario Party with classes and turn-based fighting. Super fun. I really enjoy playing it, and it's honestly really good for a very long party game. But let's get into the actual countdown. Numbering all of these games was extremely hard for me to rank because they are all top tier in my opinion. But I had to put them on a list, and this is it. It's just a super thin line between all of them. So in number 4, we have Jak and Daxter. This game I remember so fondly. Even the spin-off was something I really enjoyed as a kid. The Daxter was on the PSP. The first game, Jak is a kid that's wandering his land trying to get the precursor orbs. And honestly, it's been such a long time since I played it that the story itself, like why he's trying to get the orbs, I don't remember.
The change is an improvement. And besides, I couldn't help you if I wanted to.
Jak and Daxter 2 is when the game really takes off, where you get these like dark powers and you go through fighting, the story. You're in like a city that's like not steampunk, but almost the steampunk world. There's racing and battling and lots of different guns and stuff, and it's a story game, but it's really fun. Same as the third one, but the third one adds a new ability for Jak where he gets light abilities. So he has the light side and the dark side of both powers that he can just go at everything. I know I'm not giving you the best explanation for Jak and Daxter, but still, go look at that game. It's definitely a recommendation. And number 3, we have Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet is a young Lombax, I believe, living on another planet working for a mechanic shop, dreaming of becoming a hero like the Space Cadets, which is like a group of aliens that save the galaxy. But they're like space rangers, not... Anyway, a ship ends up crash landing near him, and that's how he meets Clank, a little robot that informs Ratchet about the galaxy being in danger and the big bad of the game, and they go off on an adventure to save it. I remember being so mad at the hoverboard minigame racing in this game that I would ask my dad to help me beat it, knowing full well that I was better at him than video games. But he did his best. But he was able to keep me alive long enough when I needed him to, whether racing or boss fights or whatever. And even furthering the story by introducing a love interest down the line. Definitely a big exclusive for the PlayStation 5 console, and a big reason why I even get the PlayStation anymore. Coming in at number 2, we have Kingdom Hearts. And it's pretty self-explanatory why this series is in the second place spot. Kingdom Hearts is a game about a kid stuck on an island his whole life, wanting to travel and see other worlds. His friend Riku and Kairi want to help go explore, and then the world gets taken over by darkness. Kairi gets taken, Riku gives in and joins, and our main character fights back, getting sent to another world where he meets Donald and Goofy. Yes, that Donald and Goofy from Disney. The three of them all go through multiple worlds, saving them from being attacked by the darkness while he looks for his friends, as well as meeting some characters from Disney to Final Fantasy. This game brings me back memories of the time where finding the boss pattern was the way to beat the boss. And whenever they were too difficult for my kid brain at the time, my older cousin Viv would help me get through the game. And I pretty much just watched and didn't really know half the time what she was doing. But as a kid, for me, finding where to go was the hardest part of that game, because I didn't really know what areas to go to at different times because you kind of went all over the area. I also realized after replaying it recently is that I never upgraded my Keyblade, the main weapon of the game, is that they had different looks to it, but each look gave it new stats and stronger stats as you continued. I just used the original. A small story about this game is I remember telling my mom why she named me my legal name, because even till this day I really don't like it. But I vividly remember asking her, "Mom, why don't you name me something cool like Keyblade?" And that's just an idea, gives you an idea of how big this game was for me. And the fact that they recently brought them all to PC and didn't keep them as a PlayStation exclusive is amazing to me. I was so shocked. Not to mention Kingdom Hearts 3 that we waited years for. It's definitely fought with my #1 spot quite a bit. And in my #1, my top first place game of my childhood is none other than Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Sly 2 and Sly 3. I've replayed most of these games in my top 5, a solid 3 to 5 times. But this game, I have played an uncountable amount of times. This was the game that got me into how cool it is to be the stealthy rogue, sticking to the darkness type of characters or abilities. This game is the only reason I ever paid for PlayStation Plus, because you can't really get it any other way on consoles, which is still dumb to me, but I digress. So, a little bit about the game itself. Sly Cooper is a raccoon that comes from a long line of master thieves in his family. One night, a group of bad guys breaks into his home, killing his parents, and he was forced to hide and watch it all. He was like 8 years old at the time, so talk about trauma. Each of the guys that broke into his family's house took his family's book, The Thievius Raccoonus. Each took off pages from it and went their separate ways. Sly meets his two best friends, Murray and Belly, a pink hippo and a green turtle. You can see why this game kind of gravitates towards kids, but the game and the story is so well done, in my opinion, that it honestly doesn't matter. One of those games any age can enjoy. Sly's love interest for the game is a police officer that is chasing him throughout the course of the series, all 3 games pretty much. Throughout their childhood growing up in the orphanage, they end up setting off to find and put back together his family book, The Thievius Raccoonus. Sly 2, the second game in the series, is them going after more bad guys because they are all using a part from his greatest villain, Clockwork. After you beat him in the first one, his parts get split up and each used for their power. Just as good as the story and the same style of gameplay, with the addition to use the other team members like Bentley and Murray, each having their own side missions. And Sly 3 is about the gang attempting to get into Sly's family vault that holds the secrets from his family's past. Again, nothing but fond memories from Sly Cooper and the gang, and I will be forever grateful for the time I got to spend on it. And to the developers and everybody who worked on any of the games on my list, you guys created my childhood and gave me all these memories that I'm going to keep for my entire life, passing these games and enjoyment on to my kids one day. I just want to end this video off with everybody telling me their top 5s of their childhood. Join me in saying thank you to everyone who worked on those games. This has been 9116, signing off. Take care and peace.